Hey, it says we're live, actually. Oh my gosh, I should have done my hair.
We are like, what?
There we go. Get that hair off, man.
The hair
They
right
got
off the
thrown in
bat.
bed.
Yeah, you would think so,
You would
right?
think so,
I
eh?
mean, we've been here for how long now? It's like
3 hours?
3 hours. Anyways, welcome to One Side of the Coin. I'm your host, Steveo the Gamer. With me today, day 2, Genesis Battle of Champions World Championship here in Toronto. With me, JC Rayner, or otherwise known JC.
JC, John. You can
yeah.
find me, John, Genesis Battle of Champions on Discord.
There you go. There's one way to get in touch with this man. He is a card designer for Genesis Battle of Champions. Created some absolutely amazing cards.
Lightless Tennessee is probably the only one that people recognize. But hey,
No, I mean, there's some other good stuff, right? I mean,
Rays wasn't like the greatest show.
Rays was not the greatest show. I know so many people hack on Rays, and I don't know why. It's like even maybe this is a bad example because I'm running Rays in my timeline. Yeah, I failed miserably this weekend. There's hands down. Won the first round, 3 losses in a row, and then finally won the 5th round. But wasn't enough to get me into the top 16, which is happening right now. So they've actually started. They're in the other room, battling it out for that number 1 position, right? So how's the weekend going for you?
Oh my gosh, it's been busy between designer challenges we've had here. I've been on commentary actually for a couple rounds yesterday, watching just some epic games.
You brushed your hair for that, right?
I might have.
We'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch it. But definitely got to see some really epic games, some really, really close ones too. I remember seeing one yesterday on stream and seeing someone with the win in hand but did not take the time to go snipe that win and kind of held off to probably get into another round because they didn't feel like they had the win, but they definitely did. So it's interesting to see how games were developing on stream.
I mean, one of the rounds that I had lost, I was playing against Benji, and it's like he was doing a lot of thinking, and he was about to make a certain move, right? And I told him straight up, I'm like, don't second guess it. If you think you know you got something or whatever, go for it. Because with the game being as fast paced as it is right now, and it's like if you do hold back,
you're probably going to lose.
You're going to lose. Well, you could, because your opponent is not going to do that, right? They're not going to hold back and wait with the expectations that you could do something different. If you got the opportunity to go for that win, take it right off the bat.
Yeah. If you think you have the win in that, even if you're not quite sure, go in and see if you can bait something out. There's nothing wrong with baiting out a chrono or something, sniping it on something that's not as big as what it might be.
Yeah.
You know, I have a couple of shots. Let's throw one down, and if they chrono out, let's snipe that chrono there, get that value gone, and we'll wait for the next round and retake our positions that we need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like and I played Nubia and primarily because of the draw, right? So a draw is such a huge thing in this game. But seeing some of the newer timelines coming in and how, oh my God, it's ridiculous the amount of different timelines and how they are interacting with even the current meta decks if they're not in the meta, which I have a funny feeling that the meta is going to shift in a big way after today.
Most certainly could. That's
Coon
all
again.
I gotta say.
I mean, Sid back at the store in the community was saying like he was sitting on the fence whether or not to play the deck that he played last year, right? So, and with very slight adjustments, he admitted to it. It's like he is playing close to the same thing that he played last year, and right now, presently sitting in number 1 again.
Number 1, 5-0, and
5-0 straight flawless.
Watched his round 5 yesterday on stream, and it was like the opponent was playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Every time he went for a shot, couldn't pop up somewhere else.
Yeah.
I was absolutely flabbergasted at how Kuhn's gone from let me handle action cards really well to, hey, thank you for all the quicker movement now. Let me just bounce around the board.
Yeah. I mean, no one's really been focusing on him prior to the championship that I know of anyways. Like, we haven't seen any other. I think he's the only one running Kuhn in the top 16.
There isn't, probably in the top 16. I know there's another Kuhn going around. I don't know if it made top 16, though. I'd have to go back and check.
Yeah.
there's not much that can deal with Kun right now. If you're not running lead and running snares, you're probably in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get him at least snared, you can keep him in spot and at least take the time to build up your own little team there if you go in and start sniping at him. Idris probably has the best advantage just to get a snare on, start the fireballs, and send some friends in for the kill.
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned Idris, and I had faced Jason in the second round, and his deck, like Jason Greenberg specifically, he's playing the Idris deck. Now, when I went into the match, sitting down across from him, my head right away because he took first place at Dragon's World in the circuit events, and he was running the Idris Blitz. That's automatically what I thought I was going to be facing, and I'm like, okay, I got this with the Nubia burst, right? No. He took me by surprise. Like that, his deck and the way that he plays it was absolutely phenomenal. Running Hell Chasms, which we all thought at first was going to be absolutely broken, and then people realized, no, it's not broken. There's ways to get around it. It got forgotten about. Nobody's running. I think there's only 2 players that are actually in the top 16 right now that are running Chasm decks, and they're actually coming up on top. So to break it down in the match against him, I moved up and he just waited. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, Chasms and Meteorite gone. I was wiped out like that so fast. It's ridiculous.
And to say that, yeah, I watched a Hellchasm deck go yesterday on stream against the Kato. Thought the Hellchasm was actually going to create some distance from the pressure.
Yep.
Kato got over and just said, hey, I'm at your front door now. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
And just totally took the game a totally different way.
He beat.
Yeah, the Kato won.
Kato is a huge one. I've been saying that even before Origins came out, that Kato was going to be a huge, huge threat to this game. That warp, or whatever the warp ability that he has, is being taken advantage of in a big way. People are really, really learning how to manipulate that ability with him. Plus, 2, he's got decent resources, decent health, and he's an overall excellent champion player.
Well balanced. I said he has that warp, and I believe he can use it multiple times per turn.
Yeah, it does not exert you, so you can use it as long as you got the
resources.
resources.
So someone coming head on to you, they're not going to hit him. No. They have to take him on the flank and take him from behind. Mm-hmm. And as well, either the Chrono Walkers themselves, you can throw a Chrono Walker out, bounce across the board, and again, Kato can be on your front doorstep with some big damage.
Yeah, 100%. So we got Sid in first place. We got Damien sitting in second place, which I was a little bit surprised on that one as well. This guy's come out of Cambridge, plays out of Forbes mostly. He actually has come down and plays out Heads or Tails once in a while. And he's playing a very similar deck to what Jason's playing. And yeah, he was coming up on top of everybody else as well with Idris. So it's our top 2 right now.
It's definitely going to be interesting. Kun is going to be hard to beat. And I said the best thing someone can do is bring their snare game on and bring their blitzes behind it.
Yeah,
that's going to be the best bet they have to outpace Kun very quickly, unless someone out of nowhere drops a quicksand and throws them on it for like 5 turns. Then we might see something because Kun does lack the ability. He's not running teleport, so he can't place himself. Everything for those warps are moves. With sand and snare, we'll stop that.
Yeah. So some of the other key ones, like we're looking at, there's a Satyr up in the top 16. I think which Will has been playing. A lot of Nubia. Which was expected.
You said Nubia came back with a draw. I didn't expect Nubia just because the game is so quick now. People know how to get damage on high, and
yeah, I was with the threat of Nubia coming up on top at this championship because of the tsunami bullshot Chrono Walker situation. That more people weren't going to be playing Fatigue, and we have not seen any Fatigue decks on this championship.
I've seen a little bit.
There's a little bit of splashed in Fatigue stuff, but like full-fledged. Prior to this, the deck that I had pushed away was the S of Fatigue, right? And +2, Ajna being a big thing, having the Ajna Tigers in there as well. It could have potentially did really well.
You remember the J debates we used to have an Ajna Tiger and Ajna, who was
it's
like Ajna Tiger is the all-star.
It is. Ajna Tiger is an all-star card. The fact that people did not realize the ability that it has, how effective it is. Yeah, I know. You were the first one to prove it to me by playing it with Malik, right? And it's just like that 5 energy cost on it, plus 12 ore on top of it. However, the swift action and with champions having that energy reduction to be able to play it easier, right? And including Malik, who's 2 energy, right? Or is it
No,
one?
he's just
Just 1 energy, but still, it's like that swift back in, right? Like that can be brought in right at the end of the round, moving in for an attack, end of round. It's devastating sometimes.
Yeah, so,
I got to give credit to this guy 100%.
yeah, I remember those debates. I remember hours of debating.
Yeah, it's like, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. And it's a key thing of you because all your resources being up front, you're gonna wear them down really quickly, especially on a 5 energy.
Baruch has 4 damage, but hey, if you can go 3 and have them know where the board is at the end of the round and throw that in, you can start sniping the board into your controls.
Yeah. Well, we used to have discussions about that too when Rays first came out, and it's like, okay, what's better, Ray or Baruch or Ajna? Like there was a huge comparison, and it's like, what outweighs the other? The higher
damage
the higher
output
health or the damage
or the control
output, right?
or the control. You might as well call onto Tiger control because
it's huge control, right? Plus 2, I think overall the blitz swift back in, yeah, always Baruch in all means, right? So who knows what'll happen with it? Hey, welcome back, Attack.
Hola. I just want water to drink or anything, snacks.
No, we're good.
No?
we're caffeinated on stream.
So I see that, and you sound severely caffeinated.
Yep.
We're all good. Yeah,
we're all good. This is only my second coffee today. I'm not even done it yet.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back nights have fun.
I'm so tired though.
We all are.
We all are. I mean, everybody is. We didn't get home until midnight last night, and by the time I got to sleep,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Around there. So.
There might have been some adult drinks when I got home myself for about half an hour.
That's not on my agenda.
It was on my agenda.
Never is. But I popped a couple of chicken balls because they had Chinese food.
Oh yeah.
And then I passed out. It felt like 10 minutes later, my wife's kicking me. You got to get up. Because I missed my alarm. Yeah, it was just like, boom.
So
but we're right back at it.
What are your predictions for day 2? What's going to happen?
Day 2. I mean, Sid is.
I'm all in on Kun. I'm all in on Kun.
I'm banking on him, and I'm hoping, right, he's going to come up top. Not just because he's one of our community members and that too, but the guy's play style is just so casual in a competitive scene, and the way that he plays and the strategies that he uses, it's astounding, right? Just watching him play it, and he's probably by far one of my favorite players to play against. When just playing casual games, we have so much fun. He's just relaxed, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to do that, right?
You sometimes have to play something to the board to see how
he makes the game fun, right? Like just even in a competitive scene, regardless, right? And then just sitting down afterwards and chatting with him about the match and having those really deep, dark discussions about the game, right? It's absolutely amazing. But his strategies are phenomenal, and I think because of that, he's going to be taking it home again.
And that's my bet is the only matchup is Idris strikes in a bunch of stairs and runs a blitz with fireballs. That's really the biggest bet right now because Hellchasm does nothing. I just fly over it.
You can, but if it lands on top of you, you're taking that initial 6, which is where my downfall was against when I was playing against Jason. Right? So it's like it was up too close, and he just starts laying them down. And I got
had 26 health though, so you do need a bit more of those to go in.
Yeah,
for Nubia, so
he does have a little bit more health.
Can survive a little more, and those warp strikes are I have a lot more evasion to get out of them. So
yeah, potentially I wasn't running warp strike. Probably should have been, but I mean, warping around and moving around.
You gotta be careful though. You don't want to burn all those resources.
I was hoping that this was like my draws were crap too on 3 rounds. Yeah, horrible, right? It's like I think I'm gonna change my name from Steveo the Gamer to Steveo the Bad Luck. Right?
Steveo the Lamer.
No, hey. Yes.
Kind of reminds me of those days when we used to use left hooks to balance all our decks, and you get a hand of
left hooks, right? All the left hooks.
It's like, this is gonna be 3 rounds of nothing.
Yeah, when left hook came out and raised too, it's like you couldn't keep them in stock, right? Everybody wanted left hook. Left hook was like the best card to balance a 3-chi balance, but it's far gone. Right? So much better stuff now, right? Other than that. So, but your predictions? What do you think? You still thinking? Kun?
I'm still thinking Kun's gonna, unless Kun gets us a bad Idris matchup. And Idris like, great. I'm 8 snares in the main deck. I'm 6 in the side. I'm just gonna put all 14 in there and just try to make it bad news bears for you. And then send an Aja Tiger at the end of the return all the time.
Let's step away from the actual competition. So there was some announcements made.
So, Invasion's coming?
Invasions is coming, yes. So we're going to be doing a follow-up show on Invasions because some of the champions were announced.
Some of the champions we are getting 7 champions. I believe
Seven
mine's going into Invasion as well. I'm pretty sure.
And the one that Sid created from winning last year's championship as well is going to be in here. So we did get a little bit of a sneak preview at 3. They showed 3 yesterday.
3 demon champions.
3 new demon champions. Demons. So demons are coming in through Invasion. So we're going to be following up with more information about that and doing some hopefully get some spoilers and stuff like that.
I know most of the sets locked in. I think they're, to be honest, just in a templating phase and probably waiting for art. That's where it is. So we're not that far away. Unfortunately,
there has not been a release date.
Nope.
Nothing's been announced, however, but we did get a small little taste just to tease us and keep us going as far as excitement for Invasions in the near future. So,
and again, when an Invasion releases, the combat will change.
Hell yeah. So especially, I know I was facing Lionel earlier with one of the new ones, and it's going to be very interesting. One of them actually, I think, and I was telling, it was hard for me to read exactly what each one does. One has to do with forethoughts. Does it not?
I'm trying to remember if it does.
There's specifically something to do with your forethoughts on the champion itself. I'm not gonna elaborate any much more on that. However, just on initial thought, and it's like, well, what if you don't play with a forethought, right? Like, so not every single player does. So now, would they be eliminating the potential of using that champion because of that?
If you're running a competitive deck, you're running forethoughts. If you're not running forethoughts in a competitive deck,
I didn't use mine once. Probably should have.
Probably should have. But if you're not running a forethoughts were brought in. Remember, like we did 2019 championships. There was no forethoughts. We got to 2021. We had ironed out what forethoughts were going to be. Forethoughts are there for 2 things. 1, to give players more options. 2, it does help in our design space because, God forbid, not everybody wants to tech in this 1 card into their main deck unless they absolutely need it for some reason. So the forethought allows you to have a toolbox.
I think in the forthcoming sets too, because the card pool is going to get so much larger and there's going to be so many other different timelines being built, whereas before, prior to the forethoughts coming out, the card pool was so much smaller.
You could tech in a card here and there because it was easier. Now
Now it's not. So having a forethoughts to adjust to, it's going to be still hard to beat though, right? So it's like you're not going to be able to adjust your entire timeline from a small little card pool of forethoughts to defeat every single timeline that's going to be there. It's going to be virtually impossible. However, the support of having it and the option to do so is still really good. So,
and remember, as we go further and further into our design as well, we're starting to see more and more of is champions actually having some really good definitions of who they are and what they do.
Yeah.
If you look back at who are our most unique champions in the first 8, like Nubia.
Nubia
had to draw.
Idris.
Idris had the fireball.
Yeah.
We can say Fawn with her little shield there and Long with his heal.
I think Long was more looked at than what Fawn was.
They're 2 damage shippers still.
Yeah.
And a lot of them still have that 2 damage, that 2 damage, that 1 damage, that slapper.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything to really
outside of Nubia's double draw, which
and Idris's fireball to hit
her fireball. All other champions more or less
kind of
mediocre
in that same
toned down abilities. Right
now we have Kun who can go across the board. Who else do we have here? We have Core who can actually draw off eating stuff up at 1 health.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of whoever else we have here. We have Suitor who can basically have a pseudo.
Yeah, you can actually summon, put an extra body
at the end of the turn.
End of the round, which is
your next round you
turn
have
advantage. Yeah, turn advantage is huge. And Satir's not doing too bad in this championship either. So
that's what we're seeing more and more. These champions really be defined of who they are and what they do. Mm-hmm. And that's just going to happen going forward. We're not going to see a game get to the end and be a slapper smash. We're going to see a game get down and say, okay, who has the better ability here that can capitalize on it?
Yeah. I think in the forthcoming sets too as well, we're going to get more expansions on Phage. More Phage cards are going to come in, and some of those newer champions too that have the better abilities. Eventually, all those older ones are just going to flush out, and we're just going to build off of what we got going forward.
And as we get through into Invasion as well, we're going to see that phase pool still be probably a little bigger just to finish balancing it out as well. So phase right now, despite having some really good stuff, still feels like your secondary affiliation and not primary.
Mm-hmm. So the overall experience of everything going on here is we got tons of side events. There were some yesterday. We got a whole bunch going on today. Looks like everybody's getting ready for free-for-all over there.
I'm giving away cards as usual.
You're giving away cards for your designer challenges.
Yeah, if you're in watching this now, you're here. Like stop on by. We're challenge designer.
Yep. 80 Cooperage. Is that how you say it?
What? Yeah, 80 Cooperage, Cooperage,
yeah.
So yeah, like challenge the designers that where you have a promo to give away. I've been giving away alpha cards as well.
Yeah, it didn't take me long to get. That's your shirt. Yeah, no, actually, your shooting deck's it's decent, right? I mean, it's just a matter of what you're drawing at.
Yeah.
I got lucky against you. It's like I wish I would have had that hand
in
the
but it happens.
It does.
It does.
And that's a given, right? But anyway, we're gonna let you guys go for now. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know if we even had any viewers for this one, but that's okay. You can always come back and watch this show.
Come back, watch it, and watch for the other ones that come up for the day because I know you want to get some interviews on with some of the top 16 that are here today.
Yes, I don't know if the Magic Historian's coming back. I was hoping to get him on today, but if he does show up, hopefully we might have him on the stream.
You can grab DM Armada.
DM Armada's here as well. And Blake.
Yep.
Right from out of Toronto here as well. So maybe hopefully I'll be able to snag them for a few minutes. If not, it's okay. We're going to try and get some other players on as well throughout the top 16. It's boiling down. By the end of today, we're going to have first place winner, new name going. Well, maybe a new name.
Maybe the same name.
Maybe the same name. We don't know. We're going to see what happens and see how it unfolds over the course of the day, and we're going to jump back on. So on behalf of one side of the coin, we really appreciate all your support and watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to check out Battle of Champions or Genesis Battle of Champions, where do you go?
www.genesisbattleofchampions.com.
Exactly. You'll be able to find out all of it. Check out all the other streamers that are putting out Genesis content and some amazing artists here as well that you can get to meet, get them to sign stuff. They're selling prints of all their, I spent so much money.
Jeff Casado, we got Damien here, we got Camilla.
Yeah, absolutely amazing artist for this game that we love. So we will.
What?
You're not going to say it?
Well, you got to finish up your line first.
I was pretty much done.
I'm Steve with one. Finish up.
I already said that. God, this guy does never do this with me. Anyway, on behalf of one side of the coin, I'm Steve the Gamer.
And I'm JC or John. I will see you in the arena.
Bye for now. Take care.